Hey guys, how we doing today? Okay, quick rant. I find that I do that a lot. That may be a problem. Anyway, so I was scrolling on the Facebook this morning, and somebody posted like a meme or whatever, something about, I can't remember exactly what it said, but something about it should be everybody's responsibility to make sure that pets are spayed and neutered. Even if they're not yours, kind of a thing. It was like this feel-good meme about like we all need to help out, pitch in, and do our part to make sure that all animals are spayed and neutered. And then I put a comment saying, yeah, now let's try to make it more affordable and accessible for everyone, because it's neither of those things for people. Because, and I've talked to enough people around the country to know that it's not just my area, but my area, trying to find a vet to get into is almost impossible. Most are not accepting new patients. So that's hard. And there are like a spay and neuter clinic that I went to not long ago with the 10 rescue cats that I took in. But hour and a half drive. So that option is out there, but it is a haul. Anyway, this lady's like, it's only $110 to spay a cat or something like that. Like, it is cheap. And I was like, $110 is not cheap, is not affordable for everybody. For a lot of people in this economy, $110 is a lot. And then somebody else put, if you can't afford $110 to take care of your animal, then you should not own an animal, which is the number one most common argument that I hear from people whenever this topic comes up, is if you can't afford to get your animals spayed or neutered, then you should not be owning one. And in theory, I can get behind that. In a perfect world, as a family, everybody would agree and decide, are we getting a cat or a dog? Where are we going to get it from? What are we going to name it? We're all going to get along and chant around a fire, kumbaya, until our soul animal finds us, and we can then provide it the white picket fenced home that it's always dreamed of, and it will complete our family, and we will then be living in utopia. Now, I don't know many people that live in a perfect world. There are some that do, but that is not accessible for everybody. And I said to this person who's like, if you can't afford that, then you shouldn't have animals. And I say this to everybody that I'm talking about with this. Just because you're in one financial place today does not mean you're going to be in the same financial place next week, next month, or next year. Here's the example that I like to give people. You adopt a dog. You've chanted kumbaya around the fire. Your family's decided you're going to get this beautiful golden retriever, and his name is Fido, and it's just absolutely fantastic. Great. He's 8 weeks old. He becomes part of your family. Oh my God, it's just the most amazing thing in the world. Now, you make the appointment for Fido to get neutered. Your vet says, we recommend that he's a little bit older. Let's wait until he's closer to 2 to have him neutered. And you're like, fantastic. 2 years goes by. Fido's a part of the family, and god darn it, you just love him. But guess what? Dad just lost his job. Oh no. You know what that means for Fido? Fido, unfortunately, big fella, that means that now the income is maybe cut in half or maybe gone altogether, depending on the family dynamic. And now the family has to decide, kids, are we feeding you or are we feeding Fido? Sorry, I almost dropped you there for a second. This is a bit chaotic as usual. unfortunately, this is what countless families deal with, especially in this economy, but it's always been this way, where life happens. And this is where a lot of the hypocrisy comes in too, is something like that'll happen, income gets slashed, we need to start making some cuts, and you're going to be damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. Because if you rehome Fido, and you can look on Facebook anywhere, people trying to rehome their animals, they will get chewed up and spit out every way through next Sunday. How dare you get rid of your dog? How can you just dump off a family member? How dare you be such a horrible owner? Everyone has seen it, and everyone has seen the judgment. So you get judged if you try to rehome the dog. Then if you decide you want to keep the dog, but you can't get it spayed or neutered right away, guess what? Then you're going to get judgment for that. And how dare you? And if you can't afford this, then... And let's face it, if you have to make hard choices because of finances, if you have to choose between getting Fido neutered, let's say it's $600 to have Fido neutered, and that's not unrealistic, by the way, as far as price goes. If I have $600 and I have to choose between, do I keep my power on for my kids, my family, for heat, warmth, cooling, water, or Fido go in to have his bits and bobs removed, I'm choosing the power for my house. Anybody would. And unfortunately, that is what people are forced with, and these are the choices that we have to make. I don't understand how people can speak from such a place of privilege. I did a little stalking of the gal that said, if you can't afford $110, then you shouldn't have a pet. She's a dog breeder of a novelty pet or a novelty breed. If you can speak from such a place of privilege, where $110 is just pocket change to you, then perhaps you can, maybe donate to some of these clinics that offer their services. They're always taking donations. If you have it laying around. Or just don't judge. Just don't judge people. You don't know what somebody's home is like, what their finances are like. Any of it. So don't judge. It's hard enough out here right now. We're all trying to survive. We're all trying to live and eat and exist at this point. Judge less, love more. That's all I'm saying.